Every bookmaker has one customer who is a total pain in the ass. Early in my career at the Cal Neva, the bane of my existence was Psycho James. Psycho was nothing more than a nickname and not meant to be a clinical diagnosis. He was harmless. Actually, he really was a pretty nice guy, but he was missing a few marbles. He never made a straight bet. It was always a parlay for multiple teams, never just a two-teamer. And with every bet, it was something with James. If he won an early game or two, I heard, Chris, can I void the rest of the parlay and get my winnings now? I told him, no, James, you can't do that. Or it was, Chris, I have an over on my ticket. Can I switch it to an under? No, James, you can't do that. Every conversation really did start with him saying my name at least twice, and usually a lot more than that. Part of that whole psycho thing. My second in command at the time was Yolanda Acuna. I got tired of dealing with Psycho James on a daily basis, so I started blaming everything on Yolanda. James, I'd love to change your parlay from Red Sox to Yankees, but Yolanda says I can't do that. Or, James, I'd be happy to void your 8-teamer and pay you for a 2-teamer, but Yolanda would kill me if I did. Chris, so Yolanda is the big boss, huh, Chris? Yep, James. Yolanda is the big boss. One Saturday, games were being played all day. James had put in his usual $5 8-team parlay, starting with some early games, going through the mid-afternoon and ending with Syracuse, the only televised game that evening. James swept the board on his early games, and I could see he was getting nervous. He won all the early afternoon games, too. So now he was sitting on 7 winners on his 8-teamer. He had about 2 hours until the Syracuse game tipped off. If he won that game, his $5 bet would pay $1,000. Chris, can I void the Syracuse game and just get paid for a 7-teamer? Sorry, James, I can't do that. You would if Yolanda let you, though, right, Chris, right? Oh, yeah, James. I'd do it in a heartbeat. But Yolanda'd be all over me. I know that, Chris, I know that, yeah. The second half tipped off, and Syracuse began to extend their lead. They went up by 14, then 17, then 20, and poured it on from there. With about 5 minutes to play, they were up by 30, and James couldn't lose. He was feeling it now. James pulled out his ticket and ran to the counter where I was standing and flashed it to me like an Apache warrior showing off his latest scalp. Chris, look here, I beat you out of $1,000. That's right, Chris, that's right, $1,000. Tell Yolanda that! Tell Yolanda that!